Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Mythcast. I am your host, Jesse Voctor Rain. With me is the silent assassin, Fluttershy. And, well, I'm gonna say it. The stallion that is Wolfie. As you should all know, Wolfie is the most gorgeous man in existence.
Thank you.
That is a quote provided to me by his mother. But we are here with the final game in a best of three between two mythology players. First up, in the blue, we have our Terran player, NiftyNathan. And opposing him, we have the Protoss player, able to pull it back to 1-1 in game number 2. Will he be able to take game number 3? His name is Resolve. So, Polar Knight, very different to the last two maps we've had. Obviously, we seem to be getting just smaller and smaller maps. We went from Frost to Yonsu, now to Polar Knight. If ever Resolve was going to do a 2-base all-in, holy shit is now the time to do it. Like, seriously, Polar Knight, such a good map for Protoss 2-base all-ins. Especially since Nathan is going to go the same style he always goes. Which is a Reaper opening into an expansion with a bunker, then adding a ton of racks behind it. Like, I want a 7-gate Blink Stalker all in. Just do it. Just absolutely wreck face with it.
I could see him opening with the Stargate Oracle though.
Yeah, that's also definitely a huge possibility. We haven't seen any Stargate play so far from Resolve. So again, that could be just a relic of the fact that he's only just come back to StarCraft 2 from League of Legends. And Stargate definitely a lot more popular now in PvT than it used to be. It used to be all about the Colossus High Templar, but now very much able to do good stuff with the Stargates. This probe actually being really annoying here in the main base of Nathan.
Almost got one.
It's doing a lot of damage to these. I mean, the Reaper will finally chase it off when it comes out. So it can't do too much, but it could definitely be frustrating here. Nice blocking though. So that probe is stuck in there and it will die to the Reaper, which is always nice. Nice to get that little one probe kill. Stop it from scouting out on the map. Force your opponent to essentially move around with another probe if it wants to. Wow! That is a fast expand from Resolve. I think he's finally cottoned on to Nathan's style and realised that he is in no trouble whatsoever in this early game. Because Nathan does not like to push out until he has his Medivacs. Because that's Terran style. They want to expand, they want to get safe, they want to get a ton of racks out, and then they want to add 2 Medivacs, push out and see if they can kill your second or third base. So, a nice fast expand here from Resolve, adapting to how his opponent is playing. I very much like that. Stalker's going to be ready to deal with that Reaper. That's the thing, when you delay that Reaper moving out across the map because it's killing the probe, it totally lets your opponent prepare for it. The Stalker should get in a good position. And Nathan realises that and just walks straight up the ramp. That was pretty wonderful.
That was glorious.
But he didn't even check the gas with that, actually. So, I mean, he can assume a lot about what his opponent is doing by seeing that expansion. You know, you're very rarely going to see a Protoss expand without also getting 2 gas behind it. But it's one of those things, it's just nice to know the exact timing of these things. Anyway, we're going to see a Robo Facility come down, so it looks like we could see a similar build from Resolve as we saw in game number 2, whereby he goes for a few Immortals to help hold that 2-base pressure from Nathan, and then moves into Colossus for a very nice push across the map. Polar Knight, actually very good. Once you get into these kind of locations here, moving towards the bases, a lot of choke points you can start to use to make the Colossus Sentry incredibly effective. Meanwhile, we're seeing Nathan build a factory and Widow Mines. Nathan has expanded and isn't putting down an extra 3 racks. I feel like this might not actually be Nathan, because I don't think I've ever seen him not just blindly throw down a ton of racks. So I like this. I like the change up from him. He's trying to make his style a little less predictable. Of course, this is something that's going to be, well, a lot more effective from today, with the Widow Mine changes that are coming out in the next patch. I'm sure it's the 28th. I'm sure it's today that comes out, or maybe tomorrow. But Widow Mine's going to be doing extra splash damage to shields, which is going to be fantastic for Terrans in TVP. Nathan actually a little bit supply blocked here. We caught him on camera. He's here trying to get that medevac out. So it looks like perhaps he wants to go for a drop, throw down a bunch of Marines and a Widow Mine in the main base of his opponent. Observer is moving out to try and catch any medevacs moving out in that direction though. Okay, looks like Nathan is in fact going for his old favoured style, whereby he just takes everything across the map and tries to drop in the main base and attack at the front of the natural at the same time. I'd like to see him take this Reaper away from the Zone Arga Watchtower and actually move into that main base again, just to see what's going on, but he's not going to do that. He's actually going to turn back at this point. I think perhaps he's realised that the Observer has seen the medevac coming out. And so he's going to refocus his efforts. Resolve has to be aware now that an attack is building from Nathan. Third base going down for our Protoss player though. And if he can take and hold that, he'll be in a really good position as he moves on. He's going to catch these Widow Mines out. They're not ready. They're not going to be burrowed. Both Widow Mines should fall here. Oh! Not actually focusing on them. They do get one shot off, but really nice play there from Resolve. Nathan forced to pick up. He only has his Marines left. This Mothership Core could fall if he's not careful, and that would be a blow. As it is, it has used up its energy, so Nathan's going to be forced to get the hell out of there. Now, the one thing about Nathan is he is going to see this third base coming up, and there is potential that he will drop there and try to force the cancel. Otherwise, it looks like he wants to try and sweep around
all the way to
back
the main.
into the main, yeah, and maybe even pick off some of these tech structures. Maybe just grab a load of pylons rather than go for the economy. That'll be interesting to see. Where's this out? The Army of Resolve is very much out of position when it comes to defending that. But this is a really nice move by Nathan. Oh, he's actually turning around and going back. Nathan. I think he finally realised that that third base was there. But I'd have loved to have seen him drop in the main. As it is, the Army of Resolve is in a much better position to fight this here. So this Nexus won't fall. And in fact, very nearly got the medevac. That medevac cannot move out at this point. It has to be so careful. But
now it seems he's going to come with the drop in the main as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is nice play from Nathan, but Resolve has so much map presence. Look at these observers. He once again sees that medevac moving out. This is fantastic play from Resolve. And actually, I think the best we've seen from him.
He's moving away from the main now.
It's one of those things. It's all well and good having map vision, but if you aren't looking at the minimap at the right time, you aren't going to see it. Here comes the drop from Nathan. That Widow Mine does go down. It is going to burrow. Probes are being pulled. Love to have seen him, instead of just attacking this gas, to really focus, take the robotics bay before extended thermal lance could be done. As it is though, just going to pick up and get out of there. Oh, the Widow Mine is there! It's not going to get a shot off though. That would have been really nice. Bringing the probes back perhaps a little bit early, but does get the Widow Mine before it recharges its shot. But this medevac that was injured before is going to be able to escape, go home. I would say heal that up with some SCVs. There's no point throwing it away. If that goes into an engagement, it's just going to die immediately. Take it home, get it repaired, use it to move out again. There are so many observers and probes and pylons out on the map right now for Resolve. Really, really strong map vision from our Protoss player. Tech Lab's going down from Nathan as he wants to get more Marauders out. His third base is up, but it's not landed. And he can't move it out at this point because, well, there's just stuff at every single base. Meanwhile, Resolve is going to throw down 3 more gateways. He's still continuing to chrono boost those upgrades out, trying to get 1-1 done as fast as possible to keep pace with his Terran opponent. Twilight Council going down as well. Going to allow for the continuation into the 2-2 upgrades. And obviously potentially allow a High Templar addition to this Colossus Stalker army. That's something the third base really is going to allow him to do. He doesn't have any gas taken at that third base at this point though. He has 16 workers there. They're all mining the minerals. Really is going to want to start to get that gas going soon. He only has 150 gas at this point. But a big move out now by Resolve. He is going to catch this army a little bit out of position. Nathan's going to have to move back. Colossus shot.
Take this engagement.
Yeah, this is actually a fantastic engagement. Mothership Core does go down though, which is a slight problem. The Marauders just barreling through, trying to get to the Colossus, but they're not going to do it. All of that army gets taken out, and, well, this base is 100% dead. That has to get the hell out of there. He's actually going to try and repair it for as long as possible. That just means he's going to lose more and more SCVs here, which is not going to be worth it in keeping that command center alive. Wants to get down, he really wants to kill that Colossus. He doesn't have the army to do it yet, though. The Immortals are doing their fair share of tanking just to keep that one Colossus alive. Pylon is down at the front, going to allow to warp in more Zealots, meeting up, adding a second Colossus to this. And Resolve is in full control of this matchup at this point.
Now finally, Nathan is starting to add in Vikings.
He is, but it's very, very late, and he does not have that ship weapon upgrades. There's already 2 Colossus there, there's a 3rd on the way. I mean, he's just not going to be able to get the right number of Vikings out to deal with this for a very long time. He has to do something here. He can't engage this army. He has to try and force his opponent back. He has to do something to keep him away from this 3rd base at this point without losing his army. A couple of Zealots just doing some damage. Nice scan to make sure he's safe, but there's more and more Zealots coming in. These 2 Colossus are going to absolutely wreck face. There's 2 Vikings. 2 Vikings, absolutely not enough. We have a Templar Archives going down as well. So there is going to be that High Templar follow-up from Resolve. Resolve not looking to commit here. Has added a bunch more gateways, allowing him to reinforce a lot quicker. And even catching a little bit of this army of Nathan's out of position. 3 Colossus now against just 2 Vikings. I honestly feel like at this point, he could just push in. He wants to wait for that +2 attack. I don't think it would be right to wait for the +2 ground armor as well. I think he just needs to go in here. Just press this advantage. Don't let your opponent get a foothold back into this game, which is what he's doing by holding off.
Oh no, he's gonna go for 4 medevac drop.
That's gonna be interesting. I mean, if he can pull it off, if he gets in a great position, there's definitely the possibility that he could do a lot of damage. But Resolve is already going home. Resolve isn't pressing that front. So he could potentially be in a very good position for this. However, he has not seen it yet, and he's moving out towards that factory on the left-hand side, looking to secure his 4th base. Means this Doom drop is going to drop safely here, and there's nothing but a few Zealots to defend it. The probe's trying to escape, getting trapped. These Zealots coming in, they're not engaging in a particularly effective manner.
The Nexus!
The Nexus goes down. And look at this, he doesn't even want to engage, he just wants to get out of there. And he needs to, because there's High Templars there. You don't want to get hit with the feedback. That's nice. Also trying to push out, clearing that forward pylon at the same time while Resolve's army was out of position. But this is a scary army. Storm's about to be done. 2-2 is already done. There's a hell of a lot of Zealots there. They do have charge as well. 4 Colossus. Storm. Holy crap. This is going to be a tough one for Nathan to hold. This is a huge push in right now by Resolve. As he comes in, so many SCVs are going to get killed here. The Colossus are starting to fall to these Vikings, but they're doing so much damage. The Storm's going down. Attacks on both sides. A nice flank here is going to perk off these Colossus, but the Storms are just doing so much damage at this point. Nathan, however, is starting to clear up the dangerous units here. The Colossus are all falling. The High Templars are running out of Storm. If he can get some units out, he can hold here, and if he holds here, he definitely has the ability to get back into this game. This is so close. Having to land the Vikings down to fight Immortals, not the most effective way. The Immortals will finally fall. 1 still up with 18 kills. These Zealots with charge still wrecking face. The Immortal still alive at this point, and more units being walked in. Just more and more Zealots, and this is going to be very, very hard for him to continue to hold as he loses all of his economy here. Down to 32 workers on just 2 bases, while his opponent has 3 and is setting to get a 4. So, really, just Resolve taking this match by the balls at this point. And I'm loving the play coming out of our newest Protoss player.
Damn.
See, Wolfie, this is what you want to be doing. This is the person you want to be.
No. He wants to be me, because basically, I have...
As interesting as that is, we do have another engagement in the middle of the map, and I was lying when I said it was interesting. But here we go. Nice starter step there from NiftyNathan, trying to get away from those storms. A bit of a preemptive storm there. Means there's not going to be any more storms in this army. There's just the 1 High Templar there. That's a little bit of a problem for him. The rest have been morphed into Archons. He could do with a few more High Templars just for those extra storms. You really want to drop those storms behind your opponent's army, so he can't start a step away from your charge arch. But here we go. Another engagement. He doesn't have that much splash damage, and it's just not going to matter. NiftyNathan. With the fake PM. But Resolve takes this 2-1. And honestly, it's looking like he could be a force to be reckoned with within Mythology. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I want to thank Fluttershy and Wolfie for joining me in the cast. Guys,
Merci beaucoup.
we'll be back in the future with more Mythcast.
Da-da-da-da.